I think we're dealing very well. Judy Duda, who's director of the health center, started the H1N1 plan, the response plan, about a year ago when there were small outbreaks across the nation and certainly on other parts of the world. Now, it's been through plenty of iterations. We follow very closely what the CDC recommends and advises us. So we have started with 1 week's worth of quarantine. Now we're down to 24 hours after the fever breaks without having taken an NSAID. Then you're free to go after that 24 hours. We used to quarantine our students if we did have a positive verification of the H1N1. We have 20 to date of the 1,400, give or take, students. Now what we will do is we will certainly give them the flu virus test at the health center. That takes about 15 minutes to get the results back. The problem with the H1N1 test is it takes upwards of a week, even more, and many of the labs are just overwhelmed at this point in time. So we're going to assume that they have the H1N1 given the typical symptoms that we see. There are a lot of seasonal viruses going around right now as well, so that kind of confuses the issue. But if we do have a verification or not, we will send them back to the room, preferably home if they can. But if we have to send them back to the room, they'll wear a face mask. We give them sanitizers. We have a buddy system with their roommates to bring food back and forth to them. If they have to go to a common area bathroom, then we have custodial services as well as students help sanitize those areas, within reason. So a lot of precautions. We're playing it safe. We're playing it very conservatively. We're doing a lot of education, a lot of outreach using email, the website, attachments to URLs where they can get to the CDC and the health department. And that's really our best weapon is information. As Barney's used to say, an educated consumer is our best customer. And to keep it in perspective. So.
And you were talking about the college's plan. What exactly is the plan, and can you explain it in detail, please?
Yeah, I'll try if you got about 5 hours, but let me collapse it for you. If we have a student and they come in and they have the symptoms of the cough, a fever, upper respiratory congestion, body aches, those are the things you look for in the H1N1 virus, okay? We will then give them, as I said earlier, a viral test, get the results back in 15 minutes. At least that will confirm whether or not they have a virus. We then will give them the H1N1 test. That has to be sent to a lab. However, as I said before, we're going to treat them as if they have H1N1. We'll ask them to have a parent or a family member take them home. That's the best quarantine we can to keep the contagion down. Or we will send them back to the room, and as I mentioned earlier, all of those precautionary measures that we would take. We'll follow them very closely. Doctors and nurses will stay in contact with them. The H1N1 virus lasts for about, the nasty part lasts for 1 to 2 days. After that, it's pretty quick and simple. In fact, the H1N1 virus is far less virulent in its symptoms than the seasonal flu. So we're happy to hear that.
And how is the college helping to protect students against the H1N1 virus?
Well, again, education, giving them the face masks and the sanitizers, and getting them off-site if we can. Making sure that they don't sneeze on people and washing properly, all of the sorts of things that you've been reading about.
And is the college providing H1N1 shots soon, when they come out?
Yeah, as soon as they come out. The CDC has told us they think it will be out mid-October, and we'll set up a site at the health center where students can get free of charge the H1N1 inoculation. And then come November 5th, we'll have, for I believe it's about $25, a similar clinic for the seasonal flu vaccination. People have to keep in mind that if you get the H1N1 inoculation now, or the seasonal flu inoculation, it does have a shelf life, and that can be 3 months. And the flu season lasts sometimes through March. You can get a second shot, a booster shot. There's no problem with that, whether it's on campus or off campus.